Grab a couple of the props too that you have here, just to bring them up and show your brilliant recycling skills. Grab the green helmet.
The green helmet. Alrighty.
This is the helmet of a bug and the eyes of a bug, I think.
Well, it's a bike helmet, really, but
spray painted green and yellow. Little airbrushing.
Spray painted.
It's carefully hand painted bike helmet.
Yes, it has papaya. God, it sounds like the Rose Bowl parade when I'm just actual fresh papayas on them.
They're giant. Yeah, they're giant artificial papayas on top to make the bug's eyes. It's just a beautiful.
We only
helmet.
use actually not real materials. These are artificial cattails for the antenna, and so that's the grasshopper.
And you have a beetle helmet there.
Yeah, this is a beetle.
It's a beautiful purple color with a pair of old-fashioned radio headphones.
That's what they are.
On the side to form the eyes.
This is a safety helmet. It's a hard hat with I guess
they're construction mufflers. Is
that's
what they
right.
are.
So that you won't destroy your ears.
Right. But look
which
at
is not the greatest thing to put on a person in the opera.
Did you begin sketching? How far ahead do you plan these costumes? Do you start sketching them as soon as Alan said, "Vixen, what do you think?" And you went on a piece of paper?
Because that was actually years ago, and we talked about it, and I didn't know where to start. But when I knew the context that we were going to be working in, which was once again in the concert hall, New York Philharmonic, that informs a lot of things very quickly. There's no fly space, there's no backstage space to speak of. You do have the great advantage of having the entire orchestra on stage in there, and that presence of live sound being produced visually as well as sonically. And but there's also no orchestra pit, there's no trap doors, there's none of that at all. So there are some really specific problems, but those make you think in a different way altogether.
One of the things you've done this year, as I understand it, is that the stage is being extended over some of the seats.
Yeah.
In Avery Fisher Hall. And that's to give you a little more space to perform? What else?
The performers, yeah.
The performance.
And also because just to draw the story into the hall itself. I mean, there's this feeling of this large empty space, which is very different from a traditional kind of proscenium, which is a window into another world. So I love the idea of bringing the singers right out, and in this case, the children and the dancers, and way out into the row L. As a matter of fact, we can call it.
It's a long way.
It's a long way.
Halfway through the alphabet, practically. Yeah.
So, and when you're out there, you really feel like you're inside this place, which is transformed, and hopefully it's transformed in your own minds a little bit like a forest glen.
Now, Alan, doesn't that give you a challenge, though, because you're conducting up on stage, and usually in an opera, the conductor's in the pit, and everybody on stage is pointed toward the audience. The orchestra's in the pit looking up at the conductor, the performer's on stage looking out. They can see you. But if you have performers behind you...
It's a huge challenge, and completely not the way opera is usually done, with the orchestra obviously closer to the audience, in between the conductor and the stage. But I think one thing that a lot of people may not realize is a lot of the contact that the singers have with the conductor, even in a traditional opera house, is these days via video monitors that are strategically placed mostly where the audience can't see them, in the wings and sometimes above the audience behind, so that when the singer is singing out to the house, they are actually seeing a projected image of the conductor. And we did it last year, and the Ligeti obviously is an extremely complicated piece, and the coordination with the orchestra worked extremely well. For me, if I may dare say, I think that it's harder for me because I can't really see what they're doing. And one of the things that I really like, and that I frankly miss in this particular setup, which is unavoidable and I think totally worth doing, but I do miss the face-to-face contact with the stage, the interaction that's possible to have looking into someone's eyes.